The strongest man in Greece didn't win the Trojan War. The smartest one did. This is Odysseus, king of a small rocky island called Ithaca. No superhuman strength, no god for a father, just the most dangerous mind in the ancient world. When 100,000 Greeks besieged Troy for 10 years and couldn't break its walls, it was Odysseus who dreamt up the wooden horse, the trick that ended the war in a single night. But winning made him proud, and in Greek mythology, pride always has a price. On the voyage home, he blinded a one-eyed giant, the son of Poseidon, god of the sea. And the sea never forgets. A few weeks' sail home became 10 years of monsters, witches, storms, and shipwrecks, while his wife and son waited, surrounded by enemies in his own palace. He's the man Matt Damon plays in the Odyssey, and his story begins with a single mistake. Sailing home from Troy, his crew was trapped in a cave by Polyphemus, a Cyclops who ate 2 of his men every night. Odysseus couldn't win a fight, so he offered the giant strong wine and a name. Call me Nobody. When the Cyclops fell asleep, they drove a burning stake into his single eye. He screamed to the other giants for help.
Nobody is attacking me!
And they walked away. At dawn, the crew escaped, strapped beneath the giant's own sheep. The perfect trick. But as they sailed away, pride took over. Odysseus turned and shouted his real name across the water.
It was Odysseus of Ithaca!
The blinded giant prayed to his father, Poseidon, god of the sea. Let him never reach home. And the sea listened. One boast bought 10 years of storms, monsters, and shipwrecks. But the trick that made him famous, the wooden horse? For 10 years, the greatest army in Greece couldn't break one city's walls. Then one man ended the war with carpentry. Troy's walls were built by gods. A decade of siege, heroes dying on both sides, even the mighty Achilles, and the walls never moved. So Odysseus stopped thinking like a soldier. The Greeks built a giant wooden horse, hollow inside, left it at Troy's gates, and sailed away in fake defeat. The Trojans believed it was an offering to the gods, a trophy. They dragged it inside the walls and celebrated all night. And while the city slept off the victory wine, a hatch opened. Odysseus and his warriors slipped out, threw open the gates, and the returned Greek fleet poured in. The city that stood for 10 years fell in one night. But in victory, the Greeks went too far. They burnt temples, spilt blood on altars, and the gods decreed that every hero's journey home would be paid for in suffering. Especially the man who dreamt up the horse. On the way home from Troy, the sea offered sailors 3 ways to die. Odysseus met all 3 in one day. First, the Sirens. Their song promised you all the knowledge in the world, and every sailor who steered towards it wrecked on the rocks and rotted there. Odysseus wanted to hear it, so he sealed his crew's ears with wax and had them tie him to the mast, with orders to ignore his screams. He heard the Sirens' song and lived, the only man who ever did. Then came a strait with no safe side. To the left, Scylla, a monster with 6 heads on serpent necks. To the right, Charybdis, a whirlpool that swallowed the sea whole 3 times a day. Dodge one, and you sail into the other. Odysseus chose Scylla. 6 heads, 6 men. A captain's arithmetic. Lose 6 or lose everyone. He survived the monsters, but ahead lay something more dangerous. Goddesses who fell in love with him. 2 islands, 2 immortal women. One turned his crew into pigs. The other refused to let him leave for 7 years. The first was Circe, a sorceress, daughter of the sun. She welcomed Odysseus's men with a feast and a potion. One sip and they dropped onto 4 legs. Odysseus came to save them, armed with a magic herb from the god Hermes. Her spell failed against him, and the witch became an ally. She restored his men and told him the way home. The second was Calypso. After shipwreck took his last ship and every last man, Odysseus washed up alone on her paradise island. She fell in love. She offered him the one thing no mortal refuses: immortality. Live forever with her. He said no. Every day for 7 years, he sat on the shore, staring towards a wife growing old without him. It took an order from Zeus himself to set him free. But while he built his raft, back home, 108 men were circling his wife and his throne. Penelope, Queen of Ithaca. 20 years since her husband Odysseus sailed for Troy. 10 years since the war ended. No word. Every other king had returned or been buried. So the suitors came, 108 of them, feasting in Odysseus's hall, drinking his wine, demanding his wife choose a new husband. Refuse outright, and they'd take the kingdom by force. So Penelope agreed on one condition. First, she must finish weaving a burial shroud for her husband's aging father, only proper. She wove it every day in full view, and every night, by candlelight, she unpicked every thread. 3 years, the shroud never grew. The cleverest man in Greece had married the cleverest woman. 108 men outwitted by one loom. Until a maid betrayed her. Caught, cornered, out of time. And her son Telemachus sails off in secret, searching for a father he can't remember. Meanwhile, that father was sailing somewhere no living man goes. To find his way home, Odysseus had to ask directions from a dead man. The witch Circe told him only the blind prophet Tiresias could show him the road home. One problem: Tiresias had long been dead. So Odysseus sailed to the edge of the known world, to the border of the Underworld. He dug a trench, poured out sacred offerings, and the shades came drifting out of the mist, countless dead. Tiresias revealed the path home, and a warning: when you reach the island of the sun god, do not touch his cattle. Then, out of the mist, came his mother. She had died of grief while waiting for him. 3 times he tried to embrace her. 3 times his arms closed on nothing but shadow. Then came Achilles, the greatest warrior of the Trojan War, now a king among the dead, his verdict on glory: I'd rather be a living peasant than rule down here. The dead had shown him the road, but what are the rules of this strange world of gods and fate? Next time, follow the Tellery.